What's up, everyone? Ray from Raylo Vapes here to talk about a brand new device, a brand new dripper that I got from Youde Technologies. Actually, I've had this now going on about 2 months. I got this as a prototype months ago to test out and see how things are. They sent me back the new and improved version of it, and we're going to be talking about the Jakiro. Don't mind the IGO vacuum. It's not the vacuum. It's called the Jakiro. So here it is. You see this? Here's the Jakiro. Very sleek looking design and top airflow. How does that work? We'll talk about how that works coming later. It does not come with the drip tip. Oops, I just took the whole top cap off. Doesn't come with the drip tip. So it comes just like you see right here, but we'll discuss that more in the close-ups. But I'm going to go ahead and take a quick vape. And while I'm doing that, why don't we dive down, go into up close so that way you guys can see it for yourself, see the inner workings, what's up with this top airflow, and how all this grand stuff works. So sit tight. We're coming right back. All right, so here we are, up close mode with the new Jakiro, which was the IGO vacuum, but they decided to just go with Jakiro, which I think is a better idea anyway. So let's go ahead and unbox this real quick and take it out. Typical Youde packaging. So you got the nice little box, little rundown here. It says dual thermal protective caps, 2-coil design, adjustable airflow with air holes punched on the top of the product, and the juice will not overflow through the air holes when vaping, which is very true. Easy to refill juice, meh, I guess so, depending on how you want to do it. Vacuum design for huge vapor and good taste. And it also comes with a pure copper contact for good electric conductivity. So, and it's an adjustable, so you can actually adjust this to your liking. So if you're going to use it in a hybrid, yada, 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 you guys know the drill. So look on the back, it gives you the little pamphlet. And then it also comes with this nice little kit with a ton of O-rings. Looks like some 26, possibly even 24 gauge Canthol. And it looks like some silica or eco wool with, is it one screw? One little extra screw in there for you. So plenty of little goodies just in case. I've actually already had to change one of the O-rings out. I don't even know if I want to keep that O-ring though, because it does make it a little too tight, but we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're here to talk about. The new Youde Jakiro, this stainless steel beauty. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart. So we have our airflow control cap right here. So you can go with single or dual. All right, so you have that option. Go ahead and take this off. And you have this outer cap here where you see your airflow is here at the top. Nice big round cyclops style. And then now we have this. This is new. You haven't seen this before with any Youde products. This right here is that second cap. And inside the second cap, which almost gives it a conical feel, but basically what this is doing is reducing the chamber, allowing for a little bit more flavor. And then you also have these airflow slots down here at the bottom. So like I was reading before, since you have this here and then this goes over the top, you bring the air in through here, goes down into these, and then comes up. So it's a unique airflow design, and I do like it just for the simple fact that it allows me to not leak everywhere when I over drip, because I tend to do that. So now we have our typical 3-post design. You can see here, pretty decent size drip well down there. It's actually not too bad, but it is reduced chamber, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. It's not going to be a big wide open one like your typical 22mm devices, but you can still get quite a bit of cotton in there or whatever wicking material you're planning on using, and you can get some decent coils in there as well. And it comes with Phillip head screws and all of these extra O-rings. One of these O-rings already broke on me and I had to replace it, but I'm thinking it's not necessary to have both of them, so I might just take that one off if I continue to have issues with it. Then of course here on the bottom you see Youde, you have your adjustable 510 connection, and then you have your serial number down here at the bottom. So that's it. You can see right here. Let's get this out of the way because we're not talking about the night. But here is all the pieces that come with it. All right. So there you go. Oh, and by the way, since I didn't mention, this is all 304 food grade stainless steel. All right. So let's go ahead and go back into regular mode and talk about it, vape on it. And we're back, or I'm back. I guess you guys are back too, as long as you've stuck around this long. I hope you're still there. Anyways, so you got to see the up close. You got to see the inner workings. You got to see the second sleeve that sits in there to help for, whoa, it got dark. It helps for flavor, as well as the different airflow design also helps to not over drip. Even though I just dripped this, the way that I normally do this, because it's kind of a pain to take the cap off, take the inner cap off, and do all that kind of stuff, you don't need to. So I'll just fill up a dripper like this, go right in through the drip tip. That's what they were made for. And just, I squeeze about maybe half of one of these little drippers, probably about like 10, anywhere from 10 to 15 drops. Normally does it fine. So yeah, that's basically how I fill this thing up when I want to use it, which actually is kind of convenient. So if I don't feel like taking everything off and doing all that stuff, I don't have to do it with this. I just right through there, I'm good to go. I don't worry about it leaking because it is sealed pretty friggin' tight there. But let's go ahead and take a vape on this, show you some vapor production. And that's at a 0.4 at 50 watts on the IPv3. You can build this lower if you want to use it on a mech, but I've just been loving this regulated life. This seems to work perfectly with it because I can balance it depending on if I want to go more into just an easy vape or if I want to go into a nice, warm, hot, dense vape. I can just do it that way on this. Both ways are possible. And like I was showing you before, so you have both open. If for some reason you're ready to just go into single, just switch it over. I got one open. The other one is sealed shut. So for you single coil guys out there, you have that option with the new Jakiro from Youde. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros, the cons, what I like and dislike about this. Well, first off, let's go ahead and go with the pros. Pros on this, I love the stainless steel look on this. It's the brushed stainless steel. Brushed 304 food grade stainless steel. I do like that. Also, the fact that, I didn't mention this already, it comes in multiple colors. The colors that it comes in are black, blue, brown, stainless, and brass. I was kind of upset with that because I have the earlier version and it came with a copper one. So you get a copper cap that you could use on there instead. But I guess they decided not to go with the copper because they have another one called the Red Dragon, which I hopefully should be getting here soon. And that will be their copper one. Let's go ahead and talk about more pros before I go off on another ramble. Another pro with this, you don't have to worry about it leaking. So when you're dripping directly into this little small chamber here. So if it does over drip, it's being caught by this O-ring and this top cap. And that seals nice and tight. I haven't had any leaking issues with this at all. Even after I take it off of here, I don't have a little ring of juice at the bottom. So it holds it in well. And trust me, I've over dripped on this thing quite a few times. Just not paying attention, just put a whole thing in there and you kind of gurgle through it or just kind of fire it a couple times until it clears out. So that was another pro for me, that I don't have to worry about over dripping in this. I don't have to worry about leaking with this because my air holes that are actually exposed are up here at the very top of this atomizer. It's also a 22 millimeter device, so that's another pro. It's going to fit well on any of your tube mods that happen to be that size, or same thing with box mods that happen to be that size. It has an adjustable 510, so it's copper and it's adjustable. So two big pros on that. So if you're using a hybrid and you want it to be a little bit longer, just take a little flathead screwdriver, screw it down a little bit, you're good to go. And let's see, for flavor, this thing's been phenomenal for me. So another pro is having that reduced chamber. Even though it's still a 22 millimeter device, the inner chamber being a little bit more restricted and kind of conical at the top allows for better flavor production. And at the same time, you still have ample airflow, so you could still get big clouds. So is it the best for flavor? Probably not. Is it the best for clouds? Probably not. But for both of them combined, I think it's a great option for someone like me that likes to cloud chase, hence the Cloud Maker t-shirt. But I still want to be able to taste my juice and not just blow these immensely big clouds with lackluster flavor due to restricted airflow and all that other good stuff. This is the best of both worlds, in my opinion. So that's a huge pro for me. I can get the flavor I want and still get plenty of clouds, as you saw. Still get plenty of clouds even on short hits like that. And just flavors out of this world. And I keep saying flavor, flavor, flavor. But yeah, this to me is what I would consider a flavor chaser build. Most of the other flavor chaser RDAs normally have very restricted airflow. I like having ample airflow on top of having the extra flavor so I can blow my clouds and still taste the juice just as well. So there is that. I do like the airflow design. I like how big the airflow is. These are pretty big. I want to say it's got to be somewhere in that about 3 millimeters tall, probably about 7 millimeters across. I didn't actually measure it out, but that's my guess on this from using other ones that I have. It seems to be a standard now that Youde is starting to use with a lot of their newer devices. So I didn't have to drill out any extra airflow. I got that airflow sitting right here on this stock. Then another pro, any more pros that I can think of on this? No, I guess just the design overall. It's a unique design. I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen Youde definitely hasn't done this before. This is a first of its kind. Another pro. You get it in the different colors. So instead of just only having it in stainless steel, if you have it and you want black, you can get black. You want blue, you get blue. Brown, stainless, or brass. You get all of those options. Even though I wish they should have come out the copper. The copper looks pretty slick. Let me tell you, the copper does look pretty darn slick on here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because why not? It's the exact same thing. Right. Look at that. Copper with the stainless steel, and then you match it up with the little drip tip that has the black and the stainless and the copper, and it goes with the black and the stainless and the copper, and it just looks great. All right, just my personal opinion. And then another reason why I thought it looked slick with the copper is you didn't have to worry about it being copper exposed to your coils or your juice or anything like that. But anyways, that's besides the point since they are not coming out with that. So we'll stick with what they are coming out with. So I'm not like just teasing you guys with something you can't have. Who knows? Maybe the copper comes out later on. Just saying, Youde, think about that. The copper's slick. Come out the copper one like that as well. But yeah, so that's it for the pros. Let's go ahead and go into the cons. What are a con that... One of the cons, I guess it's not really that big of an issue. I would have liked to see the negatives maybe milled into the deck. It hasn't been an issue. I haven't had any problems with the posts being press fit like they are. I believe they're press fit. But it would be nice to have them milled onto the side so that way you didn't have to worry about those ever coming loose or spinning on you. But really, I guess another con would be at the same time that it was a pro, it could also be a con depending on which way that you go with it. Some people don't like dripping through the drip tip. They want to see it. They like to make sure that everything is saturated. It is kind of a pain to have to take this off, and then you got to take that off, and then do your dripping. But, you know, I've gotten used to it, and in all honesty, my preference now is just to go through the drip tip if I can, because why not? I don't have to take anything off. I don't have to get my hands juicy. I don't have to do any of that. I just drip right through and it's done. But for some, that could be a con, so I'll throw that out there for you guys just so you know. But other than that, I really don't have any other cons to say about this. It's worked flawlessly. It's got the airflow. It's got the flavor. It's got the reduced chamber. Decent 3-post setup. Really, so yeah, my only con would have been the negatives not being attached to the deck. Not a big deal. But that's basically the pros and the cons for this. And when it comes to price, I can't really help you out on that. This has just been released, I believe, in the last week from Youde. So I don't know of any shops at this moment that are carrying them. They should be coming out soon, probably towards the beginning of next year. Because right now it's what, the 28th of December, 2014. So I'm hoping to see these on the market sometime in January. That's when we'll see prices and stuff like that. And when I do find out price and location, I'll go ahead and put a link down in my description so that way you can see that and know that. But my guess, it's going to be under 50 bucks. Most of everything that Youde comes out with is within that, like anywhere from $10 for like the iGo W Plus to about, I've seen 50 bucks, which was for like the iGo M's when those first came out. But for the most part, everything's within that range. So it's going to be a decent, reasonable price for another unique, authentic device that just looks sharp, performs really well. Really, really good. So yeah, you guys, that's it for the Youde Jakiro RDA dripping atomizer. New, unique design from Youde, and I'm loving it. I really, really am loving it. Like I said, I've been using it now for going about 2 months, and they finally released it. It was hard for me not to talk about this or show pictures of it because I was really excited about it. So yeah, that's my review. I would give it 2 thumbs up. I personally really love this dripper. So yeah, there you go. You got to see the inside. You got to see how it works. You got to see the outside of it. You got to see me blow the clouds. Showed you everything you need to know about this. If you want to continue on and see the rebuild portion, I do the dual center post build on here. If you're not going to see that, then this is where we part ways. Thank you for watching. But if you're going to stick around for the up close build, rebuild portion of this, I am very grateful. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching, and vape on. All right, you guys, thank you for sticking around for the build portion of this review today. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild the Jakiro from Youde with some 26 gauge Kanthal, which they sent along as well. And if you are a wholesaler and looking to pick some of this stuff up, you can gladly get some from Youde, and they're now selling Kanthal. And they also sent me some Kojendo, right? I think that's how you say it. Japanese organic cotton. So we're going to go ahead and use these today to rebuild the Jakiro. Comes in a nice little package here. Let's go ahead and open this stuff up. Give it a whirl, huh? So it comes in this little spool here. We'll go ahead and pull some of this off real quick. Okay, so we got our 2 pieces of Kanthal here ready to go. I have my 3/30 seconds Allen wrench like I normally do. And let's go ahead and wrap us a coil. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm using 6 on this. I've been using a lot of my regulated box mod, so I build a little bit higher. But of course, if you only have a mechanical or you want to build a little bit lower, just go ahead and use some 24, 22, 20 gauge even if you feel more comfortable with that. So there's our coil here. Let me show you a quick little thing that I like to do if you haven't seen before. But basically, I make a couple bends because I like my stuff. Oh, you can't see that. It's blurry. I like to make center post coils, and this is the way that I've been doing them recently. Is I make a couple little bends here. All right, so as you can see, I got those 2 little bends right there, so that way I should be perfectly centered when I install it. So let's go ahead and do that. So just like with all other RDAs, you need to put the center, which is your positive, and then the outside, which is your negative. There we go. So now you can see, we go up close, those bends put your coil smack dab right in the center of the deck, which is exactly what you want. We'll go ahead and tighten this one up. I'll go ahead and make the other coil off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to wick it. All right, well, before I wick it, let's go ahead and look. This build right here with the 26 gauge Kanthal with 6 wraps is coming out to a 0.41, 0.42-ish. All right, so let's go ahead and get our Japanese cotton, which is the I believe it's the, yeah, Kogendo. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's go ahead and use this real quick. Look at that. Each one of these comes in a single serve package. So we can go ahead and just open up this package. So now we got our Japanese cotton here. Let me go ahead and get my scissors. Oh, I already had some in there. Anyways, let's go ahead and break these out. Cut our strip here. All right, then we'll just take this, fold it in half, and snip it. Perfect. So we got 2 little pieces of cotton here. Let's go ahead and roll this tight. And just feed it on through, just like so. All right, so there we go. Now we have the cotton in there. I just go ahead and cut off a little bit of the excess here. And we just push it on through. All right, when it's all said and done, this is exactly what it should look like. You have a coil right there in the center, and then you have the cotton off to the sides. And I always leave a little bit of an opening underneath the coil to allow airflow to get all the way around it. And it looks the same on both sides. So that is how you build the new Jakiro. And next thing you would do, of course, is drip your juice in there. Slap this right on and then line up the air holes with your coil, which would be perfect right there. Take your top cap, pop that on there. Take your top, depending on if you want dual airflow or single airflow. Pop that on there, and you are good to go. So there you go, you guys. That is the rebuild portion for the new Youde Jakiro. I was using this build throughout the whole entire video for the review, so you can see the performance there. And thanks for sticking around for the review and the rebuild. So as always, everyone, vape on.